Want to start up here. We're honored to have the Boy Scout Troop 888 with us tonight, so I wanted to invite them up to help me lead the pledge. Guys, you want to come on up? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And do we have an affidavit of publication on file?
That is correct.
And a current copy of the Open Meeting Act is published in the back of the council chambers. Mr. Hoynes, Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I'll begin my report this evening by pointing out that several weeks ago the council passed Ordinance 1709 regarding the structure of the library. I just want to give you a real quick update. If you recall, I think I briefed you before that the library director, the interim director, is direct reporting with Ms. Myers. I think I did it before. If you could raise your hand again, Matt, in the back. Matt has been very cooperative in this transition, and see him up here frequently interacting with Chris. They're working on a handful of things, certainly with the library board, the search for a new director. They have an upcoming strategic plan that they're working on. And as you recall, it came out of Capital Facilities Committee a few months ago, some short and long-term structural improvements at the library. Those are the real big hurdles that they're jumping over. Ms. Myers will be attending, along with Matt, the library board meeting next Monday evening to provide them an update on what we've done and to gain their input on some of those processes. So that's been going smoothly. Couldn't tell it this afternoon, but summer is upon us and the activities are starting to really pick up. Our fields are starting to be used. Tony Gow and his folks, the road construction project you see down 84th, this affectionately gets referred to as the cone zone here in the next couple of months, but just keep in mind that's progress as promised. Finally, I've mentioned multiple times the issue of the contracts. You'll see two of those on the agenda this evening for your consideration. You know that there's three. As the FOP was going over at their negotiating committee, there were some, I'll call it housekeeping ministerial type changes that they thought needed made, and they didn't catch those until Thursday, and we didn't get them until Friday, and so I anticipate there's no problem. That's not the reason they're on there. It's just a matter of making sure the commas are in the proper place. That will appear before you at the next council meeting, April 7, I believe. Final comment, Mr. Mayor, the police department is going through their CALIA accreditation process this week. Chief Lyons is out with the assessors this evening. There's an open house, Deputy Chief Wood, is it tomorrow evening? Tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, so any member of the public that would like to see what's going on in that process, ask questions, that is a public period, or any council member, if you would like more information on that, feel free to contact Chief Lyons or Deputy Chief Whitted directly. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Gaines. Do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Just do want to make a quick note. Item C7 is an appointment to the Planning Commission, Leanne Sotak. So if you know Leanne, be sure to thank her for stepping up and serving. She's actually filling a position. We had a planning commissioner who moved. They're still in Papillion, but they moved outside of the city limits. And so we're required to have so many inside and so many outside. So to get that back in balance, that position was vacated with that move, and Ms. Sotak is filling that position. So I want to thank her for that. Next on the item, once on the agenda, is item D1, Ordinance 1704. An ordinance to amend Chapter 92, Article 3, Section 15, subsections A and F of the Papillion Municipal Code, having to do with the addition of the National Electrical Code and to provide for an effective date. Is there a council member that will introduce? introduced by Councilwoman Klug. We have no items for second reading tonight. Third readings. Item F1, Ordinance 1712, an ordinance to approve the change of zone of certain real property within the zoning jurisdiction of the City of Papillion, Sarpy County, Nebraska, legally described as part of Lot 2, Sarpy County Industrial Park Replat 1, generally located south of the intersection of 126th Street and Giles Road, from Agricultural AG to Limited Industrial LI, to amend the official zoning map of the City of Papillion by changing the zoning district boundaries of the zoning map in accordance with Section 20532 of the Papillion Municipal Code and to provide for an effective date. Is there a motion to approve Ordinance 1712? Motion by Councilman Ingberg, second by Councilman Glover. Do we have any council discussion? Please vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F2, Resolution R150040, a resolution to approve the First Amendment to the Eagle Crest Subdivision Agreement. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution R150040? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Jaworski. Do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F3, Resolution R150041, a resolution to approve the Professional Firefighters Association of Papillion, local number 3767 of the IAFF union agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R150041? Motion by Councilman Gaines, second by Councilwoman Klug. Do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F4, Resolution R150042, a resolution to approve the Papillion Classified Employee Association, the PCEA union agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R150042? Motion by Councilman Jaworski. Second by Councilman Florence. Any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
With those last two items, I just want to make a public comment thanking both the administration and the employee representatives on the union groups when union negotiations started, and that was only 90 days ago, if that. One of the main conversation was the healthy environment we've got and the trust that I think exists within the organization. And you get into negotiations, those would be tough things because everybody's passionate about the items they want. But based on the trust and the care for the community, there was an answer to every issue somewhere. And that group got to it within 90 days on both union contracts. And I think we walked away not only with 4-year contracts, but that trust is still in place, which I think is a big statement in government relations and union environments. So Dan and to the negotiating teams, thank you. Next is item F5, Resolution R150047, a resolution to approve modifications to the City of Papillion Personnel Manual, First Division policies. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R150047? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Glover. Do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F6, Resolution R150048, a resolution to approve a purchase agreement with HRE Partners, LLC to convey property legally described as Lot 3A, Block 18, City of Papillion, Sarpy County, Nebraska, the Midtown Mall parking lot. Do you have a motion to approve Resolution R150048? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Jaworski. Do we have any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F7, Resolution R150049. A A resolution to approve a maintenance access agreement with HRE Partners LLC for property legally described as Lot 3A, Block 18, City of Papillion, Sarpy County, Nebraska, Midtown Mall parking lot. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution R150049? Motion by Councilman Florence. Second by Councilman Jaworski. Any proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
Seven yeas, zero nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F8, Resolution R150050. A resolution to approve a final plat for the property legally described as Lots 1 through 12, Block 7, and Lots 1 through 12, Block 8, all in South Papillion, and in addition to the City of Papillion, together with tax lot 16A2, 16A1A, and 16A1B in Section 26, Township 14 North, Range 12 east of the 6th PM, all in Sarpy County, Nebraska, generally located at 423 South Washington Street. The applicant is the Papillion La Vista School District number 27. This is the South Papillion Replat 1 for the Papillion Junior High. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R150050? Motion by Councilman Glover, second by Councilman Ingberg. Do we have proponents? And I know the applicant is here. Do we have any other proponents? Do we have any opponents? Any council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F9, Resolution R150051. A resolution to approve a subdivision agreement with Papillion La Vista School District for the South Papillion Replat 1 for Papillion Junior High. Do you have a motion to approve Resolution R150051? Motion by Councilwoman Klug. Second by Councilman Jaworski. Any proponents? Any opponents? Any council discussion? Quiet group tonight. Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F10, Resolution R150052. A resolution to approve sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and overpass easements for the South Papillion Replat 1, Papillion Junior High, and authorize the mayor to execute the documents. Do you have a motion to approve Resolution R150052? Motion by Councilman Gaines, second by Councilman Jaworski. Do we have proponents? Any opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
I don't think any committees have met. Do we have any comments from the floor? No comments from floor. Council comments? High schoolers. We do have high schoolers. You guys, all the high schoolers, you got to come up to the podium. Introduce yourself. And I'm making an assumption that you're all here with Mr. Keller's class. If that's not the case, let us know. You all got to line up, every one of you.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Do I say where I live?
Just introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Sean Ramirez.
Thanks.
I'm Carter McCormick. Zach Bussard.
Nolan Bland.
I'm Brady Maker. Nathan Jatic.
Tori Walker. Alexa DiGiacomo.
Andrew DiGiacomo.
Michaela Thomas.
Jacob Rewalt.
There's more than usual. Are you guys coming up to the deadline? No? So, appreciate Mr. Keller for doing that. Just a few updates from the last couple of weeks. Several of us attended Project Harmony Speaking for Children lunch, just for education if people are not aware of that. A great organization. Executive director actually lives in Papillion. They work with child crimes. So if police have a crime they're investigating that involves children, domestic abuse, those types of things, they can take them to Project Harmony. Project Harmony knows how to work with those children so they don't feel like victims. They can work with them one time so everybody doing an investigation can come to that one place, come to the child in that environment, and they can do the investigations as they're helping the kids out. So a great organization, and it was their annual luncheon. And I know our police department actively participated in that and got some great training. Mr. Hoynes, Ms. Myers, and myself met with Matt Cover. We talked about the mindset cult survey that we've been doing, or the organizational survey of the employees, and we're sharing those results along with the other department heads as that's rolling out. So a number of us attended the Sarpy Chamber Grand Giveaway. Appreciate the support for the Chamber. Also had some of the students from the Ideal School that came up here and got a tour of City Hall, so I was with the Ideal School for a little bit. Thanks for everybody for coming out to the ribbon cutting of the Fairfield Inn. That's a very important part of what we've been doing with the economic development, so now we have a full-service hotel in town. Also met with, for a few minutes, with the Leadership Academy at their monthly meeting, talked about some of the ongoing projects or ideas of things we've got for the city. Also attended several more of the chamber events, and then did meet today with the CALIA accreditation group, and again, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at the Police Department Community Room is an open forum for community to come and basically a public hearing to share anything they want, positive or negative, regarding the police department. And if you've got anything to share, you'd be encouraged to do that as well. That is an open forum, and they're encouraging participation. And then spend about an hour tonight with Troop 888. They're working on their citizenship merit badge, so we talked a lot about community and community involvement and rights and responsibilities. So again, guys, thanks for coming out. Thanks for being part of the pledge. And when you're ready for an Eagles project, come see us, and we probably have some projects for you. So thanks for all you're doing. Any other council comments? Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Jaworski. Second by Councilman Florence. Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
We are adjourned. Thanks.